Fishkill Comic-Con with a real live stormtrooper, Mr. Stormtrooper. Are you having a good day today? How are you having a good day? See, he's having a good day. It's a stormtrooper day. Every day's a stormtrooper day for you, huh? And we are here with the 501st Legion, right, and the Empire City Stormtroopers. Is that right?
Empire City Garrison.
The Empire City Garrison. Okay. Now, the Empire City Garrison is just in New York?
We cover New York, but there are garrisons throughout the world.
There's garrisons throughout the world. So when they need stormtroopers for Disney programs, you guys are summoned.
We do not-for-profit, any kind of not-for-profit organization. You just go on our website, 501st.com, and then choose the region. It will show you what garrison is in that area, and then you can contact them directly.
This is great because I've never talked to a stormtrooper before. Usually they just nod their head.
So we do a lot of volunteer work. We've been to all the local children's hospitals, a lot of the volunteer fundraising walks. So any volunteer organization, based on availability, if they contact us, hopefully someone's available where we can assist.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to add to that?
It is my pleasure. I hope everyone has a great holiday.
Well, happy Thanksgiving. What do stormtroopers eat on Thanksgiving?
Just like everybody else. So we look forward to the turkey.
I love it.
A little wampa or whatever kind of intergalactic creature is added on there, but whatever the Empire gives us, we take and don't complain.
Whatever the Empire gives us, we take and we don't complain. You just heard it from a real stormtrooper here in Fishkill at the Comic-Con. Well, good afternoon. And who are you and what do you do?
My name is Mike Spring, and I'm a comic book writer.
Mike, you're a comic book writer. Wow, that's there's not a lot of those here today.
No, it's a lot harder to find writers than artists these days, actually. But somebody's got to put the words to all those pictures, and that's what I do.
So, Mike, tell us, how did you get started writing comic books?
I've been writing for a long time. I wrote a lot of prose novels, and they're a lot of work. And I've been a comic collector my whole life, and I finally said, I think maybe I can bring my sensibilities to the comic book world, and here we are.
When did you get started writing your first comic book?
It was about 2 years ago, actually. I started about 6 months before the pandemic hit, and then over that time, I put out a 4-issue miniseries, and now it's been collected into a graphic novel, and that's what I'm here selling.
Well, tell us about it.
All right, well, it's called Red, White, and Broke, and it's a superhero comedy. It's about... This is it.
Hold one up for the camera.
There we go. So this is Red, White, and Broke. It's a superhero comedy about a superhero who can't afford to pay his bills because every time he flies off to save the world, he gets fired from his job. So he launches a Kickstarter campaign to crowdfund his superheroics. And then he goes on TV to tell the world about it. The bad guys show up and crash the party, and things get crazy from there.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's great.
Thank you. It's I really want to take a look at sort of the real world version of being a superhero. Like, it's great if you're a billionaire like Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark, but like, how do you pay the jobs if you're just a guy who works like a 9-to-5 office job, and then you disappear for half the day because you're off, stopping a bank robbery. When you come back to work, you don't tell them what you're doing, they're not going to be very happy with you. So I kind of wanted to look at that side of superheroing.
I love it. I love it. What else would you like to add to that, Mike?
It's a complete series. We've created a graphic novel now that people can read the whole story all in one book. And I'm working on my next comic, which will be kickstarting in January.
And how do people find you on social media?
It's Out of Time Comics. That's like kind of the spelled like I don't know, you probably got it, but Out of Time, like in Back to the Future, and we're all over all the social medias just as Out of Time Comics.
That's great. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just that I'm a big believer that comics should be fun again. I like the dark and gritty superheroes as much as the next guy, but I want my comics to put a smile on people's faces, so hopefully when they read it, they get a laugh, they get a chuckle, but also get some good superhero action.
And what Comic-Con are you going to next?
Looking like probably there's going to be one early next year that I think I'm going to hit up in Buffalo, New York, but I've got a pretty full slate for 2023 all across the Northeast. So I'll be out there. I'll be out there for people to find me.
I love it. Mike, thanks so much. It's been wonderful to speak with you and meet with you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate talking to you.
So long now. So we are here today with Anthony from
Variant and Collectibles.
Variant and Collectibles. So Anthony, how'd you get started doing this?
I've been a long-time collector, myself, and then eventually the collection kind of runs its course and grows too big for the house. And actually, Very Gary was somebody who kind of turned me on to getting into selling. So about 5 years ago, started on like social media platforms, eBay, Instagram, things of that nature, and whatnot, of course, this past year. And then this is actually my second con selling live, like in person, meeting people, the community, and kind of interacting. So it's enjoyable to say the least.
So Anthony, tell me, where are you out of?
We're based out of Gardner, New York.
Good old Gardner, New York. Now, I'm looking up here and I see different numbers. Are those, what do those numbers mean?
So those are called CGC slabs. That's the terminology for them, or lingo for it. 9/8.
Yeah, pull one down and show us what that means, because there might be somebody that's a newbie that's watching and we want them to know.
So what you have here is you have a book that's near and dear to your heart. I always say slab what you like, right? But there are people who will slab things because they're worth more when they're preserved and graded by a professional grading company. So 9/8 is near mint. It's pretty much the highest that you will normally get. There are 9/9s and 10s in the world, but 9/8 is like the standard.
Now, where do you decide the standard, or do you measure that? Who decides the standard?
CGC, Certified Guaranteed Company, is the company that's pretty much one of the more prestigious companies out there. There's also CBCS. There's quite a few, PGX, but CGC's, you're like the industry standard right now. And what happens is you'll send the book out and it'll be reviewed by 3 different graders, and they'll grade it based off of a number of different things, criteria, so whether it has spine ticks, whether there's fading, foxing across the edges, things of that nature. And all 3 of them will come to a decision. They'll each have their own individual grade, and then they'll average the grade out from there. And then it gets encapsulated in the plastic, so it's saved at that grade. And basically, a lot of times, the price raw is less than what the price is graded itself, and by large amounts too, hundreds of dollars. So this right here is Invincible Iron Man number 9. This is actually the first.
So by grading it, you lose money? Okay. That wasn't clear the way you said that. Okay. Rewind that. Tell us more.
So a raw book, let's say, might go for $100, whereas a slab book, depending on the grade, could go for $700 or $800. Raw, it's kind of open to obviously damaged, handling of that nature, whereas this, it's saved at that grade and it's not going to change. So this is the first full appearance of Riri Williams, who was just in Black Panther. So she made her MCU debut, and here you have her first full appearance in comics. This book hasn't taken off yet. It's gone up and down quite a bit this past year, but we're hopeful. We're remaining hopeful for the MCU effect.
So if I'm going to buy this book today, how much is it?
This right now currently is set between $300 to $350. There were sales of upwards of $800 to $900 earlier this year and last year, but it's fluctuated, so it's kind of like the stock market almost. Kind of goes up and down, unfortunately.
Well, you know what? This has been educational. I think that this is really some really good information to know. What else would you like to add to our time together today?
Collect what you like and enjoy yourself. Don't take the hobby too seriously. And learn to part with things when you can. Otherwise, you might have a full room in your house and one less family member. So
that sounds like love.
That's true. It is a passion for sure.
Well, Anthony, thank you so much. You've been a wonderful guest to interview, and we look forward. Now, wait, I need to ask you. This is your how many Comic-Cons?
So this is my second live Comic-Con event that I've been selling at. Yeah, so number 2 for me.
Okay, and then do you have another one that's coming up that you're going to?
The Newburgh Toy and Collector Show. They're running in March. I believe they just changed the date on it, so I can't give you a date for that, but I know it's in March.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing you there. All right, thank you for joining us.